Tom Trbojevic plays his 100th game. Oh, that's too easy. That's to the script right there. Who's going to score the first try for Manly? Way from one, looking for a second try.
He's got there.
Tom's over. Tom Trbojevic, and it goes. And that is easy with a somersault. Oh, Tom Trbojevic is away again. Salvers too quick.
Well, this is the fourth try assist. He scored two, set up four.
Yes, the latest instalment of the Tommy Turbo Show. Seriously, it is unbelievable to watch the last 4 weeks of footy, and undeniably, Gal, is the difference between Manly winning and losing matches.
Look, are they dead set one-man band? Like, seriously, you do not... It's so cruel to say that at all to the rest of the team. And he would say no way, and Des would be filthy people if you think it. But I have, in my time in rugby league, I haven't seen a player as influential as he's on a rugby league team. And it's not just this year, it's not just the last 5 weeks, it's what he's done last year, the year before. Yep. He's seriously amazing to that squad and what he can do, and the confidence that he gives other people around him and what he can do on the field himself. Like, he just runs, the last few weeks, like, he just runs past people that I don't want to tell. I don't know if he's got spiders on or what's going on, but just no one can get near him.
I love how he does prop forward hit-ups.
He's been seriously ridiculous. And I can honestly say in my time, I haven't seen a player have an influence on the team like he has.
Have you, Freddie, have you seen a player that...
Well, a different type of influence. He has an influence every game, every try goes through his hands. You know, everything's set up around him, and if it's not, he goes and takes it and makes it happen. The one player I thought had a massive influence on teams was Glenn Lazarus. Yep. You know, when he come from Canberra at the end of the 80s and 90s, and I played against him in grand finals, and then I was playing for Australia, and then he went up to Queensland, went to the Brisbane Broncos. They won a couple of grand finals straight away. And then he also went down to Melbourne, and on the back of, you know, that was their first year, second year in the season. 98 they come in, and 99 they won it. Is that right? Yeah. Like, I don't know what it is, but Lazo, he had an impact.
What 6 grand finals, was it?
Six grand finals, I think.
At 3 different clubs.
Yeah.
What about Joey? Joey was fair, like, not so much the years when they won the comps because they had so many good players, but in those last few years of his career, if Joey wasn't in that team when he was carrying them a lot.
What are the stats? Middo would have the figures on percentage-wise without
a player.
Now, Cameron Smith, obviously, would be very high through that era, through his period. Yeah, it'd be interesting. We should have got the figures. Maybe should have done that.
I asked Gus a few weeks ago.
We do research on this show.
We just wing it, mate. The turbo scenario for you, Brad. There's obviously, as there always is, leading into Origin. There's a lot of opinions out there at the moment as to how you'll fit Tom Trbojevic into your New South Wales back line. James Tedesco, we're expecting would be your fullback. Would he?
I don't like putting the mock on it.
Right, yeah, gotcha. Okay,
right,
yes,
so,
gotcha. Yeah, for injuries and everything. Could Tommy Turbo? Here's my question to you. Andrew Johns has floated the idea of Tommy playing 5'8". Could he? Could he do that?
I don't think so.
Okay.
He's an idea.
Well, he plays like a 5'8".
Yep.
Like, it's just one of those blokes. You don't want to hamper him at all.
Yep.
Didn't you play him like a second fullback in that?
Well, he played centre in that
Origin
Origin Series Cup. He was scoring tries off kicks because he was going infield and chasing them. So he can be all over the ball. I suppose when you're playing centre defensively, you've got to be there defensively. That's probably where the boys got stuck a bit last year in a couple of times. But could he take Tedesco? Like, there's going to come a time that question's got to be asked.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to think of the age difference. There's mostly 3 years between them, 2-3 years between them. So there's always a stage in your career, and hopefully he's the one that actually puts pressure on James to keep working hard. I think at the moment, you look at Brett Morris. If people are looked after, they can actually keep improving and, keep providing and, you get smarter around the field. When I watch James Tedesco play, when he's in form and the Roosters are going good, he's sort of a bit like Turbo, where he gets to first receiver, he gets out the back, he does a whole lot of things in a game of footy. So that's why they stay good. That's why all their fullbacks are the best players, because they all go back there and they all push each other. Everyone goes, well, Pappenhausen's better, and they go, well, what's Pappenhausen doing? All right. I better start following through there like Pappenhausen.
Can I ask you this generally about New South Wales selection? When New South Wales won it and you came in that first year, you threw caution to the wind and we had all those debutants. Off the back of a series loss last year, do you feel like doing the same thing again this year?
Well, I feel like it was tough from a point of view last year. It was late in the year, players were tired, staff were tired, everyone was pretty tired. And I feel like, if anything, the thing that I didn't back as much was instinct. There were things I saw just around camp, and I feel like I didn't back myself as much as I normally did. And there's a way I get myself into that frame of mind, and I'm in that now. I make sure I'll never do that again.
Freddie, what about picking blokes out of position? Last year we picked a couple of fullbacks are in the centres now, and there was a couple of times in game one where they got caught out. But when you have a look at this year, Latrell was playing well until he got suspended, and obviously Tommy Turbo, 2 fullbacks you could probably put in the centres. Is that something you consider?
Well, it worked in the past.
It's worked in the past, yeah, but
Yeah.
I mean, it didn't last year. So are you going to consider playing guys in their position, or are you just going to pick the best 17? And
Just when it comes up, we'll sit around and have a chat, and like blokes like Turbo, obviously very special. Latrell's very special, and if they're playing really good footy at fullback, if you go through the period you played when you were up against Queensland, you had Darius Boyd playing on the wing, you had Greg Inglis playing in the centres, you had Billy Slater at fullback, all fullbacks for their own team. So, if your team, the players are really good and good enough, and your team plays well, then they cover it. We just didn't play well enough last year.
Is White and Luai your toughest question?
Yeah, that'll be tough. Yep, so working that out. The 5'8's a tricky position. Like you said, the centres, like Zach Lomax was mostly, there was a couple of games where he was really doing a great job at a right centre role. So, if someone's doing a great job in a certain role, then you sort of go, well, you don't want to complicate things too much.
There's Crichton also from
Crichton's
the
playing right centre at the moment.
and he played left last year. So
Tony Staggs is coming back. He was a right centre. So, what have we got? So I think we got 3 weeks till we pick the team.
What about the influence, Brad,
3
of
weeks.
obviously you'll always have your players that are certainties to be in there. Do you use them as sounding boards as well to get their thoughts?
Not really. A couple of times I have with Boyd but not often. I don't want to put pressure on players to be sort of, picking and choosing. I'd rather just, that's my job, I think.
Yep.